Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, and I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. It's a time where we can relax and craft, and we work for about an hour every evening on a project, and we usually do those projects from beginning to end. Today, I'm going to be continuing my Splendid Sampler Quilt-along quilt. This we started in 2016 on Valentine's Day, if you can believe it, and I'm still not done with it. And but we are finally to the last stage, stitching on the binding. So here's the back. We don't have this area stitched on yet, but we do have most of the bottom edge. And here's a little green, one corner done, and I'm hoping we can get to our second corner on this tonight. And then after tonight, I won't be working on the Splendid Sampler here anymore. I'm going to just try and do that. I'm going to leave it out, and I'm going to try and do that on my own, maybe even a little bit this weekend, maybe a little tomorrow morning. I'll let you guys know how far I get when we're back here on Monday. But Monday, we will be back to the Charming Chevrons quilt. We are going to start the quilting of that, and we're going to start with just some stitch in the ditch walking foot quilting. We're going to do all of that before we move on to free motion quilting, which is what that project is about for me. Like, let's learn how to free motion quilt. I don't know how to do that, and I'm using the quilt as kind of my learning tool. So we're going to start that back up on Monday. So tonight, we're going to stitch that binding a little bit more. One last thing, I did want to remind you guys that the sale for my embroidery kits is going on right now on Massdrop. I put a link to that post here in this Facebook post, so you can click on it through there. No field trips planned. My parents are coming this weekend, though. I think we might go to a Twins Brewers game, so I don't know. I won't be hand stitching this the whole entire weekend because we'll be hanging out, but nope, I will be staying home this weekend. All right, I'm going to flip you guys around. Let's get started. All right, here's my quilt all mashed up on the table here. All right. So tonight, again, we are going to continue where we left off. So here we are, all our little stitches, and we need to start up right here again. And we have about maybe 2.5 feet to go before we get to this corner, and then we'll make another really nice mitered corner. So we'll do that when we get that far. So all right, let's get going. So tonight I did grab some thread wax. I've had this just sitting in my little go-to craft kit for years and years. I barely ever use it, but since our thread has been kind of twirling and bunching up on itself for the past couple days, I thought we'd give it a try. There's probably a better thread conditioner out there that I can use. But we'll try the wax for tonight. All right, get a little stork. All right, so I'm just gonna, I think I will, let's run it through the wax before I tie it in a knot. So I'm just running it right through one of these guides, and we'll go through a few times. It might drop a little pieces of wax on my quilt, but that's okay. We're gonna just wash it all. So it's basically coating the thread, which hopefully is going to make the thread stronger and also less curly as we keep going. So we'll see how that goes. I know that some people run this by a hot iron. I don't know if they actually touch the iron, but they just kind of run it by a hot iron to kind of melt the wax into the thread a little bit. I don't know much about thread conditioners or wax or anything, so can't tell you much more than what I did just now. So we'll just, we're just doing a little test to see if this gets rid of some of our little wrinkles that we've been having. All right, I'm just gonna I already tied it into a knot. I'm just going to kind of loop it around here. I'm tying this underneath where the binding will go. So now I'm just going to fold the binding over and we will start up the process again. All right, I think tonight, for speed's sake, since we have a little ways to get to this corner and I'd like to get to the corner tonight, I am going to do the ladder stitch again. So we did the blind hem stitch and the ladder stitch last night, and the ladder stitch where we stay in the back, but we're at the bottom, and then we cross over to the binding, just like directly across, and then we stay the binding, and then a stitch, and we stay in the binding, and then we go cross down again, and then now we're just in the back of the quilt. In the back of the quilt, we're on one side, and then we're on the other side for the whole stitch. That's the ladder stitch. And that was a little faster because I can do a few stitches at a time before I have to pull the thread. That's kind of like the fun magic of a ladder stitch. So see, I haven't pulled this thread at all yet. I'm going to just stick my thumb in there just in case we get looped up. Then my thumb will be in the middle of our loop. But there we go. So I did get a little wax on there, but again, that should, I'm assuming that's just going to wash out. All right, so ladder stitch for speed. Because with the blind hem stitch, you have to go through, or you have to pull the whole length of the thread through each time, and that slows you down a little bit. No wedding wake up calls for you guys. I think I might wake up tomorrow. Just for the sake of just trying to keep a schedule going, like trying to wake up early. So I might wake up early, read my book for a little, throw the wedding on. I'm going to try and do a workout because I'm a day off on my workout because I had a really bad night of sleep one of these nights and I didn't want to work out that morning. So I think I will throw the wedding on and do my workout and then just sit and drink coffee and watch it. All right, so I'm also going to do, with this ladder stitch, I'm also going to do the little double tack every once in a while. So like right here, I've gone about 3 inches or so. I'm going to just pull it tight. And I'm just going to go up and around the stitch twice. Oh man, 4:30. So I think I only have to wake up, I don't know, I think here it kind of starts at 6:37-ish, 7:30-ish. Man, I hope I don't have to wake up at 4:30. This sounds like a Google issue, so I'll have to see for sure when I need to get up. But Joe, you're in the Midwest, right? Or are you Central Time? And you're like, when does it start Central Time? That's what I need to know. If you tie the knot in the end of the thread, that first comes. Your mother told me if you tie the knot in the end of the thread, that's comes apart first, or you'll have to finish that thought, Pamela, because I'm curious. Ooh, you're doing smocking for the granddaughter. I have not done smocking before. That'd be something fun to try. Ugh, got a little knot here. Here we go. Well, so I'm still getting the knots even with the wax. Oh, not first and so not the end. Okay, I hear what you're saying. So not when you're pulling it off the spool, tie the knot at the part that you pulled off the spool first, not where you did it last. Is that what you're saying? Again, if you tie the knot at the right with the needle first, you cut the thread Oh, tends to tangle much less. Okay, so tie the knot, then pull and snip, and then the freshly snipped put the needle in there. Okay, we will try that for our next thread here. And yeah, I probably am threading my needle or threading too much thread. I'm just I hate the idea of having to switch threads all the time. It is smarter to have less thread because first of all, it's easier on your shoulder. You're not having to pull the thread like way far back. Okay, Central Time, the wedding starts at 6 or 7. You wanted to listen. Yeah, I'm sure there's tons of pre-stuff, huh? To listen to the pre-stuff, 5 a.m. sounds better for a wake-up call. Okay, so 6. Oh, man, starts at 6. Ugh, I don't want to get up that early. Well, we'll just see how it goes. I will probably be getting up at 6:30 and watching whatever happens from that point on. Okay, not the first. Okay, I will try that next time, guys. I will not, when I take my thread off the spool next, I will tie a knot in the thread that comes off the spool first, and then I will snip it and then thread the needle with the last end, the snipped end. We're cruising right along though with this this ladder stitch. Oops, catching a loop. I think I'm maybe making my stitches a little big. I'm gonna make them a hair smaller. So the question about is my left hand tired from doing this? I did a lot of computer work today, so my left hand is a little fatigued already. And yeah, so I'm feeling the fatigue a little. It starts at 4 p.m. in Australia, but so far it's been going all day. Oh man. So you guys are already getting like the pre-game stuff. All right, I'm going to go around the stitch twice again. So I'm just tacking it every once in a while because then if a thread comes loose, it will only like come loose to these little areas where I'm going around a couple times. And then, you know, I can catch the repair faster in theory. If that happens. But that was always like a fear, like with this ladder stitch, like, oh, if it gets cut in one tiny area or worn in one tiny area, is the whole thing gonna fall apart? But that little extra tack in there will save it. And I don't have a fascinator to wear to my living room tomorrow morning. So well. I have a headband. I can go outside and I can cut a few lilacs and clip the lilacs to my headband, and that can be my fascinator. That sounds good. That sounds wedding-y. Have you heard of a sewing bird that clamps to a table and holds the left side of the fabric in its beak? No, I've not heard of that, Jenna. That's interesting. So basically what my hand's doing here, it's holding that so I can have that free and I can just kind of be stitching. I think that would assume I'd wonder clip all of this. But yeah, that makes sense. Something for every issue. That's kind of neat. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one getting a tired hand doing this binding. All right, we got about a little over 18 inches, I would say, to do here on this yet before we get to the before we get to the corner. Hello, Aaliyah. Oh, they're little antique things, those birds. I'm gonna have to Google that. That sounds fun. I've never heard of that before. Oh man, that's gonna have to be something to find on eBay now, isn't it? Although, it kind of makes me think, I have this idea for an embroidery stand, like a holder while you embroider. And it's like what I have in mind, I think it would totally work for what you're saying to like hold up the left side while you're stitching. I'm gonna have to think about that. All right, I'm just pulling it tight a little. I'm gonna just add that wraparound stitch again. Ooh, little knot. Okay, scooch. All right, so we have this much left before we get to the corner. Ooh, yeah, hand's getting tired though. All right. I think we're flying though. I think it was a good choice doing this ladder stitch. And man, I think I might have to do the ladder stitch more often because this does feel like it's going fast tonight. Yes, Bonnie. So if you guys, I mentioned this at the beginning, but my embroidery kits, or a lot of my embroidery kits, not all of them, but many of my embroidery kits, including 2 new ones, the Beagle and the Llama, are on Mass Drop right now. And Mass Drop is, if you've been with me for the past couple months or so, is like my new favorite place to buy random quilting goods. I've purchased my cordless iron from there and my wool pressing mat. I almost bought, right now there's also machine needles, like a pack of 100 needles. I almost bought that today, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just use up what I got first before ordering something new. But I do have my embroidery kits are there, and Mass Drop just they do like temporary sales or short-term sales. Oh, there's got to be a better term for that. Or occasional sales, maybe that's better. So my kits are on sale there now through Sunday. So I think end of Sunday they will come down. So if you wanted to snag a kit for cheaper than usual, they're over there. And for a quick link to there, I did put a link in my Facebook post here. And if you're part of the Penguin and Fish Crafters group on Facebook, or just went to Penguin and Fish on Facebook, I put a link in there as well if you wanted to get to it quick. Oh, Libby, you got the llama! Awesome! Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton. So how it works is after the sale is over, they will, Mass Drop will, I don't know, do their final tally or something. And then they'll let me know what was ordered, and I will ship it to Mass Drop, and then Mass Drop will ship it out to you guys. So there is a little, it doesn't come instantly. There's a little delay in like a couple weeks or so for the delivery, just because, of that back and forth a little bit. But it will get there. Oops, I hit the phone there. Ooh, we're getting close to that corner here. I'm also running out of thread though. If I don't think I have enough thread for the corner, I'm gonna get some new thread before then, because it would be super annoying to run out of thread on the corner of this piece. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run out beforehand. Such is life, I suppose. But yeah, there's a few things on there right now that I kind of want, but I think I'm going to hold off on everything. I need to use up what I have first and use what I got. But there's Schmetz needles, machine needles, so you can decide like if you want the the 70, what is it, 70-10, 80-20s, or 90-30s? Is that how it goes, the sizes? You can decide what size you want, and they'll send you a pack of 100. And I had that in my shopping cart, but I'm like, yeah, I got that whole jar full. Let's go through those first. Oh, it says the llama won't be shipped till the 11th of June. It will probably be quicker than that. So I think they like to err on the side of saying a longer ship time, but most likely it will come earlier than that. Because I'll be shipping it to them right away, and then they'll just be turning it over to you guys right away. I don't know, but yeah. Actually, 11th, that'll come up real quick here. It's mid-year, mid-2008. That's kind of crazy town. We're almost there. Let's see. I might have enough. Oh, I might have enough thread to get around the corner. We're getting curly here again, though. You can see my thread just wants to wrap into little coils. Oh, that'd be cool, Deborah. Who knows? For a while, it seemed like whatever we talked about, like 2 seconds later, it'd be on mass drop, so who knows? But yeah, I really like my cordless iron from there. What else do they have on there right now? I kind of forget. I was just, oh, the other thing I was looking at were those, that knitting needle pack where you can interchange, like this, what are adjustable, like you can screw off the needles and put a different size needle on and a different size cable on. I was looking at those, but again, I feel like I probably don't really need that. Do you ever let go of your needle and let the thread unwind? I do sometimes, but right now that just sounds like a bear to kind of hold up the quilt a little and let it dangle. So I'm just trying to kind of deal with it because I don't want to move. But I do. Sometimes with embroidery, I do that too. I just kind of let it hang. If this really starts knotting up on me, then I might do that. But it's acting okay despite it being all kind of tangled. It just sounds like too much work to let it dangle a little bit. Get into that corner. Maybe I should still kind of stop before I hit the corner. Get a new thread, but I think we might make it. We're gonna just deal. We're gonna let this thread end where it wants to end. But yeah, I think this ladder stitch way of doing it is going awfully quick today. Oh man, it was toasty today. I think we're sticking in the 80s here for a little while. But man, I went for a walk today and the wind started blowing, and then I just was sneezing and sneezing for the rest of the walk. So I don't know about that. And we still don't have the air conditioner in, so we're sleeping in like a 90-degree bedroom is what it seems like. I know, super scooting, aren't we? We're going fast. I think I'm gaining a new appreciation for this ladder stitch technique of doing this. It is a lot faster, and after doing it for a little while, you get into the rhythm of it. I think I'm going to do my little capture stitch here. Go around this spot twice just to kind of lock it in place. All right, scooch forward. I'm gonna actually flip it around now because it's getting annoying, like it's bouncing back at me here. So I'm gonna just pop it around like that, and I'm just gonna try and push that corner up into there, and I will adjust that a little bit as I get. So now this is that corner that we accidentally, because I didn't check beforehand, we have a seam of the binding right at the corner, which kind of sucks. Usually beforehand, you want to kind of lay your quilt on a flat surface and then kind of lay your binding around to make sure that you start sewing on the binding so you don't end up with a joining of things at the corner here. And I did not do that. So my seam falls like exactly on this corner, which is dumb, but oh well. That's the deal we're in. So I stuffed that corner the best I could up in there. And now I'm just laying the rest of this binding flat across like this, all the way off the edge, and you get this 45-degree angle there. So I'm going to stitch up to a little bit before like a perfect perfect like square here. I'm going to stop about right there because then I can fiddle with this a little bit and then do some stitches up to it. So we'll stop like an inch shy from the edge, but I do want to get this nice and flat and hold it there. Stuff that corner up there. All right, I think just like this will do. Oops. Didn't quite do the ladder stitch quite right there. And we're going to just make it with this little piece of thread that's left. We'll get right around this corner and then it'll be time to switch threads. Ooh, it's 61 but feels like 50s. Yeah, that's a little chilly. That's like still super nice though. It's not 30s. That'd be not fun. If you hold the new edge first, oh, if I fold the new edge first, the mitered corners will have less bulk and lay flatter. I'll have to see, actually, yeah, why don't I stop now? Let's check on this to see if this ends up being a pig nose or a bishop's hat. Okay, so yeah, so I do want to do it this way where I fold it all the way this way first and then fold, because look, I got the like nostrils of this are going in two different directions. That's what we want. So here the fold is going upwards, the hole in the fold, and on this side it's going downwards. That's what we want because then we get like a nice little twist on top, and that gives us that nice point. So that's what we're going for. And actually, look, it's kind of covering up my seam, which is kind of neat. If we went the other way, like, you know, if we went straight up this way so that the 45-degree angle is going up and then fold it over like that, then we get the pig nose where the folds, like the little holes in the folds are both going the same direction, and it looks like a little nostril. So that's why we want to do it the other way. Sometimes I have to go up this way if I get the pig nose going this way, but in this case, going straight this way first and then folding it, and we'll do that right now. That gives me that nice point because the little nostrils are going different directions. So I'm going to hold this here. I'm folding it so that sorry guys. So I meet, the point meets right where it leaves off in the binding there. And I'm going to just hold that. I'm going to stitch up to that. I probably should have stitched a few more stitches first. And I think we'll do that thing where we stitch the miters shut too, like we did the other side. And that was the last corner was the first time I've ever done that before. And I'll show you what I mean in a sec. What's all this thread here? We got some danglers here. So first I've grabbed both pieces of fabric, both binding sides in the corner here, and I'm just going to go around there like twice just to kind of lock that corner in place. There we go, just one more time for good measure. And then we're gonna stitch these like little nostrils shut. That's kind of what we did. And that's the thing that I've only done once, and that was on this side. So see here, we've stitched that shut. So we have like a nice little mitered line there, and that's not gonna, you're never gonna be able to pop that out or anything because we've stitched them with a couple little stitches on both sides, and we get that nice corner there. So let's do that here as well. So I did those 2 stitches, so we're kind of locked in place here. I'm gonna just let's go in here. We're just gonna kind of tack it down. So I'm gonna come up and grab the little side of the binding that's at the top, and we're gonna just do like that blind hem stitch where I go in the back fabric and then grab a little bit of that upper fabric, tacking it down, and we'll do like one more here, I think. Ooh, lots of thick thread here. All right, now I'm gonna go all the way through, and you know what? Actually, let's wrap it around here twice to kind of hold it in place. Just trying to get the edge there. Or just the ones like that. That's kind of holding it in place. So now we're gonna jump to the other side. I'm just gonna kind of grab both little pieces. Oop, shoot. Pulled the thread out of the needle here. All right, there we go. And I think I'll loop around this little edge twice too, just to lock it in place. There we go. That's probably fine. All right, so now I'm going to just tack this side down as well. So this side you can see that seam, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. Next time we'll have to double check that we aren't making a seam right at our corner. All right, and that's that. I'll put one more little stitch in here to kind of do that fine little tacking. There we go. And now we gotta scooch to the back again, back where we left off. So I'm just gonna go right kind of where we left off, and I'm just gonna kind of angle my needle down. That looks pretty good, maybe a little lower. There we go. And we'll pull it through. All right, and then we can just, we can rotate, and then we'll just continue down the line here. I'll do a couple stitches because we do have a little bit of thread left, and then I'm not tying, you know, I'm not finishing the thread by all this business. I can finish it down lower here, but look, we've got that tacked down, and that's a nice sweet little mitered corner there. It looks great. This one's extra pointy too. This one turned out nicer. It turned out pointier than the first one, I think, the first corner. But we officially have the bottom of the quilt, the bottom edge of the quilt, bound. 2 corners done. That feels good. We are onto a side. So the sides are longer though. So that'll take me a hair longer than it did to do this bottom. All right, so we'll make a few more stitches, and I think we might just call it an early Friday tonight, and I think I'm just gonna finish this thread, and then we'll call it a night. I didn't think I'd make it to this corner with one thread. But yeah, I need to go to bed early. First of all, I have not been sleeping well lately, which is a bummer. I'm totally mad about that. But I need to be getting up to watch all this wedding shenanigans and get in a system of waking up again early. So a little early evening tonight. I'm such a party pooper. I never do anything. No partying on Fridays. Hanging out with you guys. That's my nice Friday. Oh, she's gonna be proud of my mom's gonna be proud of my mitered corners. You guys, A couple of you guys have mentioned that pig nose versus like the bishop's hat, and that was such a good tip because I never had heard about that before, and it does make such a nicer corner having those edges go, those folds go in different directions. But what a good way to remember it is you don't want the pig nose. Stay away from the pig nose. It just, I mean, it really is just a little tiny hair prettier. Prettier with those folds going at different angles. Oh no, Linda, you just got here. Well, I will be back Monday again. So Monday we are picking up the Charming Chevrons quilt again, which means we're gonna have a huge giant piece of quilt hanging out here on the table again. I'm just gonna get overwhelmed with all the bulk the next few weeks here. But yeah, we will start doing the walking foot part of the quilting for that. So it's funny because it's as equally as bright of a quilt as this one, just it's red instead of this blue. So that's kind of funny. I need to do like a light kind of pastel-y quilt one of these times. Actually, we need to start doing some more embroidery and some small projects again. All these quilts just kind of came up all at once, I think. Nolene, I am super excited about the free motion quilting too. I'm sure it's going to start out as a total nightmare, but I'm hoping to learn. That's the plan. Hanging out on Friday nights is the modern day quilting bee. Exactly, Pamela. Oh, maybe I can curl up with this quilt. Yes, exactly. So that's Deborah. That is the plan. I want to wake up, make some coffee. If the wedding stuff hasn't started yet, which it probably will have, I'll just, if I haven't started, then I'll do my normal, get to read my book for a little while and finish waking up, and then I'll throw on the wedding, and I think that's what I'll be doing. I'll be stitching this up. We will see how it goes. But yeah. That's what I'd like to do. Keep stitching this during the wedding stuff. And at some point tomorrow, my parents and my brother are going to be stopping by for the weekend. Oop, shoot. Just enough to tie this knot. But yeah, I think this is more than a wedding's worth of binding to do. But I'm going to leave it out and try and do it in the evenings or something. I do not want to put this away as an unfinished project again. We're getting there. All right, I'm just going to trim that. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. I thought I lost my needle there, but got it. All right. So, nice mitered corner tonight. We did quite a bit, actually. I think we started about here. So we did, I don't know, a foot, 2 feet. We did about 2.5 feet worth, maybe a little bit more, plus a corner tonight. So let's see, about what, 30 minutes, about like, let's call it 20 minutes a foot. So I don't know, I got at least 20 feet left on this thing to do. Maybe not 20 feet, but a good 15 feet yet on here. So that's like 5 hours yet, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm reading the best book right now. Pamela, I'll have to, I'll bring it out on Monday so you guys can see. It's a library book. Oh gosh, what's it called? I think it's called Why We Sleep. It's written by a sleep scientist, and he breaks down sleeping and all the things that it affects in a really great way. Like but it's totally based on science. Everything that he says, but he breaks it down so you know what's happening. But it is fascinating. I totally recommend it. It's my favorite book this year so far. But I'll bring it out and show you guys on Monday. Totally recommend it. So I think it's called Why We Sleep, and it's by, I don't know, Matthew somebody. I don't know. Yes, exactly. I don't sleep well either, Gretchen, and that can cause a whole pile of scary problems is what it's turning out to be. So it's really, really, really showing a light, like shedding a light on how important, 8 hours of sleep is, and what can happen if you're, not doing it. And through all these experiments, through these scientific studies and stuff that he breaks down. So it's real science. It's not just like some, guru telling you stuff. It is a scientific book that he breaks down and teaches it to you. Completely fascinating how it affects different illnesses and everything, and just daily functions. Fascinating. So anyway, I could probably talk about it forever. And like how it's different when growing up, like in adolescence and babies and later in life and all that. Fascinating. So I'll bring that out on Monday and share with you guys. But I will flip you guys around. All right. Oh, Noeline, it talks about morning person and like a night owl. Those are actual real things with your circadian rhythm. They aren't, they're just different, and how society does not cater to night owls. So people genetically moving towards night owls generally get less sleep, which causes more of all these issues and stuff. It's really fascinating. You can't sleep more than 5 hours at a time. Yeah, you'll want to read this book to really dig into it. It's just blowing my mind. So I will show you guys it on Monday. I'll bring it out here for sure. But yeah, totally loving it, and it's freaking me out, but I love it. And I love science. I love science broken down into language to make it understandable. And I like that it's like real science. It's not just like woo-woo stuff. So yeah, recommend it. But anyway, guys, here is our little binding for tonight, and our cute little stitched mitered corner. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. And again, that sale ends on Sunday. So if you want to get my embroidery kits cheaper, including we got this guy, but the normal size, the little hedgehog, and then our new kits, the beagle and the llama, are also up. They are on sale on Mass Drop. I have a link in this post here. They're on sale through Sunday, and then that sale kind of ends. So, all right. Just that last little reminder for you guys. I have a fabulous weekend. You'll have to report back on all the stuff from the wedding that you liked, and and we'll see how it goes. See if I can get up early enough to watch it. But all right, have a great evening, and I will see you here again at 8:30 p.m. Central on Monday. Good night.